Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the three dystopian films that we watched: Metropolis, The Dark Knight, and Wall-E.
Out there's a world outside of Yonkers, way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby, out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby.
I'm mostly going to be talking about Wall-E, but I will touch up on all of them. And so for this vlog, the first thing I want to bring up is the question: who do you imagine to be the intended audience for each of these films, and what are each of these films trying to accomplish with their dystopian visions? Okay, so for Metropolis, I think that the audience definitely has to be PG-13 and up, because I don't think that, children would understand the message of the movie or would really, be interested in watching a movie like this. It is an old movie. It's black and white. It came out in 1927, and so yeah, I'm pretty sure like my dad's dad. I mean, this is a classic movie, but you know what I mean. Like, I didn't really know about it until this class. So, The Dark Knight, the audience for that one, I definitely think it spans anywhere from between children all the way to adults, older people, because it's such a popular series, and because Batman is such a popular superhero. I don't really consider him a superhero because he's not a superhuman, as we talked about. He just uses a lot of technology, and he's really smart, so he can definitely do things that regular humans can't. But yeah, he's not a superhero as we would think of a superhero, like getting bit by an insect and getting superpowers, or coming from another planet. Children go to watch this movie because it's Batman, so everybody can go ahead and take something from this. Obviously the teens and adults are going to get more of the messages and the hidden subliminal symbols, but everyone can go watch this one. And last but not least is Wall-E. Because it is a Pixar film, and those are very popular, and because it is an animation, it is geared towards children. These films are very popular, they're very widely appreciated, but this is a chance for children to really get messages that they wouldn't be able to understand for like a movie that was geared for an older audience, because here they'll be able to understand it a lot easier. So whatever message people are trying to send, movie makers are trying to send, they can do it in a movie like this because it's way easier to get to children by doing it this way. Now I'm going to go through each one and talk about their message, and then I'm going to spend some time on Wall-E. Okay, so what is the first film trying to accomplish, Metropolis, with its dystopian vision? Well, a dystopia is, by internet definition, an imagined place or state in which everything is unpleasant or bad, typically a totalitarian or environmentally degraded one. Metropolis is a presentation of this futuristic city, and it's like very beautiful and everything, but underneath it there is another place that is basically populated by workers that are overworked and mistreated. So I wanted to bring up the workers and how the symbol of the workers definitely plays into the dystopia. So the workers are all dressed alike. They're like in uniform. It almost looks like a prison. Yeah, so they're walking all together in sync. Their heads are down, and basically they're just following their orders. They're not thinking for themselves. It's very sad. And it being a black and white film kind of really does add to the sadness and the dystopian effect. So they work in this machine, this huge like industrial complex, and they are forced to do these difficult and very repetitive tasks, you know, things that don't require them to think, but it requires a lot of labor, and it's not fun. The machine at one point in the film is actually compared to Moloch, which is the ancient Semitic deity honored by human sacrifices. So I thought that was pretty cool and a nice little connection to this course. This film is basically saying that the utopia can't exist without the dystopia, where there's workers and everything that keeps the utopia running. If it wasn't for them, the utopia wouldn't be there, and everybody would kind of just live in a, you know, it wouldn't be the best, but it wouldn't be, you know, a dystopian world either. It would just be whatever. But since there's a utopia, there needs to be people working under it in order for it to run and to keep going. So that's what I thought the dystopian message was. Okay, so now moving on to The Dark Knight. Ever since I watched this movie, I've been a fan. The Joker has been probably my favorite, the Joker from The Dark Knight, has been my favorite villain ever, probably, because he's just so crazy and out there, and I just don't think anybody can come close to the performance that Heath Ledger put on. It's amazing. Okay, so I wanted to bring up what we talked about, or what was talked about in the lecture, which is Rose's humorism, and how it's not the king who dresses like a god, but the god who dresses like a king, and basically how that ties into Batman. Because yes, he is a human, and he doesn't have any superpowers, like any real superpowers, but he's still somehow above humans. He uses technology and his intelligence in a way that other humans wouldn't, to create himself into this superhuman and to create himself into the hero that he is. He's just out here looking for justice, and he gets it thanks to his effective use of technology and ingenuity. Going back to Metropolis, the cinematic aspect I wanted to go into was the whole the costuming for the workers, how everything is the same, everything looks very, you know, orderly. They have no say in the way that they are, in the way that they live their lives. They kind of just have to do these things, they have to do these tasks, work for this machine, and just keep going, because they're all part of the bigger picture. But for The Dark Knight, I wanted to bring up how all the in all the scenes, they're very dark, you know, there's not a lot of brightness and a lot of color, obviously, because the film isn't like a happy film, you know. And the only real, you know, time you see a lot of color is on the Joker himself. He's wearing this like really bright purple suit, and his hair is green, and he has like crazy makeup, and that just stands him out from the rest of the film, because he is this crazy guy. He is the antagonist. He's just a wacky dude, and he needs to be brought out that way. He needs to be brought out because he is the evil. You know, the reason why I like the Joker is because, yeah, he's evil, but he's like funny. I don't know. He's just crazy is what it is. So now I'm going to be talking about WALL-E. And basically, one of the themes I wanted to talk about within WALL-E is technology. So technology can be a beautiful thing. Technology can connect us as a world. You know, it makes a lot of things in our lives easier. But when we become too reliant on technology, that's when there's a problem. And I think that that's definitely one of the big messages of this film. Our reliance in technology and the increase in that is a very bad thing. And Pixar is trying to show kids what can happen if you just rely on technology, and if you don't care about the earth. You know, everything just goes to shit, and we don't want to see that happen. We don't want to see in 700 years everyone super obese and living on a spaceship in the middle of space. That's just, and you know, our planet is dead and there's just one little robot trying to help clean it up. We don't want to see that. So the environmentalist concerns, there's obviously a very, very, very big like sign in this movie saying, hey, we need to take care of our earth because look what can happen if we don't take care of the earth. There's no plants, nothing. It's just full of trash. It's completely destroyed. And there's no way for us to go back to earth unless there is a sign of life. There has to be one little sign of life. And as we see in the film, Wally does find it. The little tiny plant, the smallest little leaf sprout out, and it's just like, I think that that's a beautiful symbol, that it's so small and delicate, because it's like, this is our last hope. If we don't take this and take care of it and plant it and cherish it, there is no more hope for us. But this is our last little bit of hope. Otto, which is like the ship's autopilot thing, he wanted to destroy that last hope, the only chance at life on Earth. He wanted to destroy it. And I saw that as a symbolism of technology taking over, and technology being evil in its own way. Like, yes, it is great and we need it, but we need to remember that technology isn't the only thing, and that we shouldn't let it take over our lives completely, because it will destroy our last hope of going back to Earth. I mentioned in the lecture, I did definitely see the nostalgia for old times, and this is seen within Wally, and how he's completely in love with the dancing and the old time music, and seen in his Dolly VHS tape, which VHS tapes, those are also very nostalgic. We don't use those anymore. We don't even use DVDs anymore. We use like Netflix, and so yeah, there's like a yearning for the way that things used to be, and we see more humanity in Wally the robot than we see in the humans that are in the film, which I think was pretty funny. I wanted to talk about the eucatastrophe that I saw in the film. When Wally was zapped by Otto and he's left there and he's just fried, it's very sad, because we think that that's it, like, the last Wally, and he's been destroyed. It really tugs on the heartstrings. But Eve, when she gets to Earth, she repairs him, and her kiss brings back all of his memories, which were wiped out. And I thought that was beautiful, and of course, Disney has to bring it back. So yeah, that was really nice. And more on Wally and humanity. Wally, the entire time that he's on Earth by himself, he's dreaming of love. Every time he watches the VHS tape, he's like imagining love and all this, and finally when he gets Eve into his life, he immediately falls in love with her. I think that this is a perfect vehicle to teach kids a lesson, and to show them the message behind it, because being an animated picture makes it much more attractive to children. Kids, as much as kids do love watching movies and things that you and I might want to watch, they definitely are more attracted to animated pictures. They stay like glued to the screen. And I really think that because it was animated, and because it was so bright and colorful, and the way that the humans were animated in the film as being super obese, it catches their attention. They want to see, like, oh, why is everyone like this? And they start questioning things. And so that is what I have. I really enjoyed these movies. I really enjoy the themes of utopia and dystopias. So I was really excited to do this, and I was really excited to watch these films, and I can't wait to see what you all have.
Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfume night, with the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna